Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and today what I want to talk to you about is borrowing money to do a renovation to your home. It's a topic that not a lot of people talk about because I think not a lot of people, they feel kind of bad about it in a way. Like they feel like it's kind of the Dave Ramsey thing of like, you know, don't live beyond your means, don't spend money that you don't have. And I get that and I love that. And my parents are huge Dave Ramsey fans. I read, you know, his book. Wow, I can't even think of the name of it, but Ton of Money Makeover. There we go. I read that when I was a kid and loved that. But I do want to talk about the realities of renovations and what it does to the value of your home and what the actual numbers are around the number of people that actually use borrowed money to do a renovation. So here's the long and short of it. When you're doing a renovation, and by the way, be sure you watch until the end of the video because I'm going to give you kind of like the secret to how you can get more access to more money than you even think is possible in order to get your renovation done. So at the end, I'll explain that. But here's kind of the overview, big picture, like 90-second version. 70% of Home Love Construction clients, and this is just when I last checked it and the number is going up, but 70% of our clients who are doing major six-figure renovations to their homes, 70% of those people are using borrowed money to do those renovations, either in the form of a home equity line of credit or a refinance that's unlocked, basically a cash out refi, or some sort of a renovation loan product. So realize that most people do their renovations with borrowed money. Now, why would that be? Is it because we live in a consumer society where everybody does everything on credit? Maybe, but I think there's more of like a real, like actual good reason why people do that and why people should do that. It's that a renovation is actually putting more value into your home. And so if you can take the value that it's going to be at and pull that forward money-wise, then you're square at the end of the project as long as you actually do the renovation that you're planning on doing. So, and let me break that down kind of out of more esoteric terms. If you have a house that's worth $500,000 and you're adding on, say, 500 square feet, and in your neighborhood you get $300 a square foot for your house, that's $300, that's gonna add $150K in value to your home, and it's gonna cost you, let's say, $130,000 to do that renovation. Or let's say you go crazy. Let's say it's gonna cost you $150 to do the renovation, whatever. Let's say you're doing a really nice addition. And so you're gonna spend $150, but you're gonna add $150 to the value of your home. Why wouldn't you just get a loan for the value of the $150? Because remember, it's gonna be a part of the home. Why wouldn't you just get it at the same terms as a mortgage and do the renovation and then get it appraised at the end and be like, hey, okay, it's worth $150, I spent $150, we're square, it just got added into my mortgage. Now I have a $650,000 house. Assuming that, you know, you can make the payment and everything, that obviously that's important, but why would that not make sense? I mean, it seems like such a simple, logical thing, but we've been, you know, kind of taught, I think, in the Tampa Bay market anyways, that improvements to your house are kind of like extra spending, but it's becoming not that way. I mean, the housing stock is becoming so low, and by housing stock, I mean houses that are available for sale, right? Like houses that are just up for sale on the market. In the whole of the Tampa Bay area, where there's like a couple million people, I think there's like 400 or 500 houses for sale at any given time, which is not enough because there's like 1,000 people a month moving here. So that said, there's literally not enough space for people. So when you're talking about renovations that are adding space to your home, it's not a frivolous expense. If you can't find a house to move into, but you're about to have 2 more kids, if you're about to have twins, that's an actual problem that you need to solve because you don't want your kids to necessarily share a bedroom. And so by solving that, if you can solve that problem by just basically using the same terms as you would to buy a house, but to buy a renovation to your house and extend it instead, that seems like a total no-brainer. Because even in the Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey does say that the only acceptable debt is your mortgage. It's the last thing that you pay off because it's at such a low interest rate that the payments on that debt are so low that it almost acts as free money. And so remember at the beginning I told you to watch until the end to tell you how to get kind of basically like free money for this. So what a lot of contractors offer is they offer renovation loans that are essentially unsecured lines of credit. So they'll get you hooked up with financing from maybe like, you know, maybe I won't name the companies because I don't want to get in any trouble, but they'll hook you up with some financing that's what's called an unsecured line of credit, right? It's not secured against anything. And so that typically is at a wicked high interest rate. And you also pay large financing fees up front that are tacked onto that, some as high as like 20 or 25%. So if you're getting a $100,000 loan, you're also paying a $20,000 or $25,000 fee that goes nowhere except to the lender to actually write that loan. So realize that you're paying extra for that. So what you can do instead, and this was a thing that I mentioned in the beginning, is you can actually have a company. So we have actually a relationship at Home Love Construction. We have a relationship with a lender who can do renovation loans at the same rate as a typical mortgage, maybe 0.5% higher. So if a typical mortgage right now is 3.5% or 4%, whatever that is, they're probably around 4.5%. And the closing costs are the same as that of a mortgage, 2 to 3%. And so what they do is they appraise what the house is going to be worth after the renovation and what it's worth now, and they lend on the difference. And they put it in an escrow account. We draw off it as we do the renovation. They do a walkthrough at the end, check it off, say that it's good. We did what we said we were going to do. And it's rolled into your mortgage, and now you just have a mortgage payment that's a little higher. The way the math on this actually works out, and this is I'm probably going to blow your mind here, but for every $10,000, the monthly payment is usually around $50. So I'll say that again. When you're doing a renovation loan, the way that we do it at Home Love Construction is every $10,000 in loans is about $50 a month in payment. By the way, that's less than your car payment. I just bought a $40,000 truck and my payment is like $600 or $700. If I do $40,000 in renovation lending, I only pay $200 a month on that. That's the way that math works out. So if you think that you can't afford to do a renovation, why don't you come talk to us at Home Love Construction and let us show you how you actually can afford to do your renovation. It's actually that simple. So that said, if you are in the Tampa Bay area, that's our geographic area, is the Tampa Bay area. If you're near us and you're interested in doing a project, but you're like, I think I might need a renovation loan, send us an email to homeloveconstruction@gmail.com and we'll get you hooked up with our lender and we'll get you pre-approved before we even come out and see you, so that you know that you have money to spend on that project based on how it would improve the value of your house. Because if it's going to improve the value of your house, why would you need to wait until it's actually done to get access to that money? It doesn't really make any sense. Banks get paid on lending money, so they're incentivized to lend this money out to you. You're helping the economy actually by doing this. So, and you're helping yourself, which is amazing. So that said, if you're outside of the Tampa Bay area, we can still help you. I'm still happy to connect you with our lender. And so if you need help with that, please still send an email to homeloveconstruction@gmail.com. There's also an opportunity in some immediate markets surrounding the Tampa Bay areas. We do have connections with highly reputable contractors, so we'd be happy to give you a reference to someone who is a great contractor in your area if that's something you need help with as well. Also realize that we do remote designs. So if you're looking for, hey, I want to figure out how I'm going to do this, I want to design it, and I want to get it financed, we can actually do all the pre-construction work for you. Realize that we have a full-blown design team that just does kitchen, room addition, and bathroom designs for a small fee. You can pay us to design something remotely, as long as you're in an area where we can send a professional to get the as-built drawings. As long as you're not in Antarctica or like the polar circle or something crazy, if we can get somebody out to actually measure your project, then we're good to go. We can take it from there. We can do the design, we can get you set up with financing through our financing partner, and then we can hook you up with a great contractor. So if you want us to handle that for you as well, just send an email to homeloveconstruction@gmail.com. We'd be happy to help you with that. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe to the YouTube. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next video. Peace.